Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the semifinal game for the 5 and Under Nationals at the Chaska Curling Center. My name is Anna Jensen, and I'm from Seattle. I curl out of the Granite Curling Club, and I am here with Alyssa Parks and Julie Segovia, who both curl out of Houston.
Good morning, Anna.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're excited for this game.
Me too. So, for a little bit of information, this is the semifinal. So, the two winners of this game go on to play for the gold medal. The two losers, or the second place teams, go on to play for the bronze. So this is not anybody's last game. However, there is something on the line.
Definitely. These are the last four teams. Three of them will walk away with some hardware from this 5 and Under National Championship.
I'm excited. I watched the games last night, and there were some really great curling.
All of the games were super close, and there were some the lead switched several times, so there were some really good shots there at the end.
There was. So I'm excited. The game we're going to be commenting on is Matt Mellon versus Christian Rose. Matt Mellon is out of Duluth, and Christian Rose is out of Denver. And then the Sheet B game is Daniel Blyven versus Will Meyer.
All right, so the teams have just finished their last shot draws, which determine hammer in the game. And so they're all shaking hands, telling each other good curling, and getting ready for the first end.
All right, so first up here, we have Team Rose. So we have Skip, Christian Rose, third, Anna Murphy, second, Tim Murphy, and lead, Cameron Cabrera. Then for Matt Mellon's team, we have Skip, Matt Mellon, third, Joe Daly, second, Derek Farrell, and their lead, Jackson Purdy. All right, we got some nice practice slides going down here. I'm excited to see who has hammer. Just for a little bit of info, to determine hammer or what team throws the last rock, both teams throw what's called a last shot draw, where they throw one rock. Each team has two members of their team throw one rock, one counterclockwise and one clockwise. They are then measured from the center of the house or the pin, to see who is the farthest away. The team with the lowest average wins hammer. So they win the right to throw the final rock of the end. You want that. It has a lot of importance. You can, with that rock, change the whole outcome in or out of your favor.
All right, so we've got Jackson Purdy about to take his first slide and deliver the first rock of the end.
Hey, play in then.
The ice has been fantastic this week. So just a comment about the ice. Obviously,
Play for top
they've
four.
prepared it for the championships, but the ice is just running so nice. It has a lot of curl.
Hi,
You can
Jackson.
get around those guards.
You're good.
We call it a little swingy. I expect today will be no different. So he took about 6 feet of broom there to get to the center line, so it should be swinging again today. It looks great.
Yeah, the ice has been beautiful. Thank you to the ice makers.
We going in or three? Three or in? Start. Okay.
So what Cameron's referring to there is he asked three or end, so he's asking whether or not Christian wants the rock
Watch
just
the line.
outside the house, which would be what we would call
And then
a
wait a
three
little up.
guard,
Watch
which is
it.
close to the house but not in, or whether or not Christian wanted the rock in the house. And that's relevant because it would call into play the 5 rock rule. So the first 5 rocks of the end, if they're placed in what we call the free guard zone, which is not in the house but in front of it, then the other team can't take them out.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking like a pretty standard hammer strategy from Team Rose there with a corner guard. Never a bad idea, especially in the first end.
All right, so Purdy's first rock slid a little bit deep. They were looking for that to be either in front of the house or at the top of the house. And so this second rock, they're going to try to have this pretty close to the
Eyes, D.
house, but not quite in it.
Okay, good, good, good.
Looking really nice there.
Really nice
Hey,
adjustment
Jax.
on the weight.
Yeah, those first rocks are hard. Both teams do
Really
get
nice.
9 minutes to practice, but the ice can change so much, even within that time span from when the game starts.
Very good line. Line's okay. Line's okay.
So Christian has called the come around, so trying to get their rock in the center of the house behind the rock that Team Mellon just placed.
It's looking
As a center
really
card.
nice there. Maybe a little heavy, but it's nice rock.
Yeah.
Even though we did, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that
Yeah,
slid
we'll
just
take
to the
notes
back
on
of the
that, right?
house, and that gives
Top
Team
four.
Mellon an opportunity to
Top four, yeah.
get close to the button and stay in the top of the house, which would give them a bit of an advantage as we progress through the end, because they'll be able to use that rock. When we have rocks slide to the back of the
Airtight.
house,
You gotta go.
it's difficult to use them
Have to go to
in
get
later
by.
shots.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a
Never
battle
out.
to control the front of the house, because you can always promote a
Yep,
road.
yes,
You can always
yes,
bring a
you
rock
gotta
further
go.
back. You can never bring one forward.
Whoa. Stay here.
This
Stay here.
looks like a really well placed rock, really well managed.
Yeah,
little bit,
they
yeah.
are gliding
Good.
on this ice.
All right, so we've got 5 rocks here. So now this is the 6th rock of the end. So now Christian is elected to
go to
get rid of
5.
this center guard. So he'd like to get rid of that, so that way he'll have access and an open house to the 4-foot since he's got hammer. They'll position him well for later in the end.
Normal.
Yep.
And a yep.
Oh,
Whoa,
Cam.
whoa.
Yours, Cam. There we go.
That works out well.
That does work out well.
Cleared the center, kept the rock in play.
Let's go, Tim.
Yeah, got those guards out. Nothing worse than peeling a guard, under curling and nosing it up, and just leaving your own rock as a guard.
It's a really
It's either
good
tight
result.
or baby tap, but I think I just like it tight for now.
A good call there. I think they're going to put it back, but if they're heavy and they tap, that's fine too.
So it looks like Team Rose is sitting 2nd and 3rd shot. So that's a good position for them to be in to see if they'll ever be able to move Team Mellon's
Jake?
rock and sit multiples.
Well then. No, nothing. Still top 12. Okay, curl it a little. Whoa, line's good. Curl, 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 curl. Yep. Gotta get to center. Really gotta go. Go, go, go. All right,
Nice sweep to carve that over a little bit.
It was. So sweeping does 2 things. You can, the standard thing I think most people understand of sweeping
You're going hack.
is you
Control,
can,
hack. Let's go board.
all right, looks like we're going to,
Just trying to throw a light takeout weight, and he's going to try
Yes.
to bump that rock back off the button.
Yes.
So this is a bit of a finesse shot.
it is.
Little
So
board
when they're
pull,
calling,
line.
when they call board or hack, they're referencing
Whoa,
the speed at which
whoa,
they want
whoa.
that rock to go.
Line looks really good.
It looks really nice.
Got to curl a bit.
That looks
There you go.
excellent.
There you go,
Really
Tim.
nice shot.
If
Nice
you can
throw.
throw board consistently, you can be really dangerous with board weight hits because of the amount that they curl. And it is still enough weight to remove the rock from play, which we can see here. But as I said, you can sweep to make a rock go farther. You can also sweep to make it curl more or curl less. So when you hear them say curl or straight, they're trying to influence the amount of curl that that rock is experiencing. I missed the call here.
The Team Mellon is
then.
just coming around to put that
Whoa,
rock
whoa,
back
whoa.
in the 4-foot.
Makes sense.
Gotta get to the face.
So this
Whoa.
is a bit of
Yeah, hold on.
of the
Whoa,
more
whoa, whoa.
aggressive call, because if he
Let her
he
crank
would
a
have
little.
had the option to try and maybe throw a lightweight hit and try to remove some of
Whoa,
those red
whoa,
rocks
whoa.
in the back.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
They might be getting nervous because they have nothing else in the house aside from that yellow
Or we
biter in the
can hit
back.
this.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, too. We're still be back 4.
I'm drawing this way.
Yeah.
So it looks like Team Rose was considering either the draw on top or potentially a hack weight to see if they could remove it and tap that back and take those other and get those other 2 red rocks in play. They've elected to
draw.
play
Whoa, whoa,
Line's
whoa.
fine.
the freeze
Post the
to
back
come
line.
down to it.
Line's fine. Yeah, we're heavy.
We're moving now.
Nope, nope.
It's got to curl quite a bit.
Yeah.
Spot on the red. Then we can take
Fortunately, I
yellow.
think she's got a little bit of backing there, so we'll,
It's fine.
yeah, fine result with that.
That works out nice. Ended up shot rock.
cuts that scoring area down.
Not two, it's fine.
Behind the
Baby
tee
tap's all
line,
right.
so Mellon does have an opportunity here to, if he could freeze one on there, be laying shot, and will be
Play
a
to
little
it.
difficult to get that out.
A freeze is definitely, I think, one of the most powerful shots you can throw in curling, because if two rocks are frozen or touched together, you
Where?
cannot, you can only really move one of them
Clean.
with the way
Yep, little
physics
bit.
works. However, they are incredibly difficult to execute
go line.
perfectly.
Really gotta go. Gotta go weight too, Jax. Help him. Every inch.
Really good sweep,
Every
little
inch.
light.
Every inch. All right.
So it'll leave Rose sitting shot rock, and they'll have an opportunity likely to bring another one in there,
Okay.
looking for a
Yes,
chance to
yeah. We can drag it into.
get two
You got
with
this.
hammer.
When you're trying to place these rocks pretty precisely, what you're hearing, we've got the vices and the skips mic'd up, but you don't hear the front end because they're not mic'd right now.
Not much.
There's a lot of communication going on between the front end and the
It's a
person
little
in the
upfill, a
house.
little zesty.
You've got to predict
It's
the
starting
weight
to
of the
drag a little
rock
bit,
and
but it's still
communicate
up.
that to the
Still
skip
up.
to
Coming
have
down
them
now. It's gonna sit on top
make
of
the
red
line
again.
call here. So this rock management and placement becomes really critical in these semifinal and playoff games.
Yes. A lot of times with curling, or people who aren't familiar with curling or don't play, they think all of the importance relies only on the skip or the person who plays the vice because they have the later rocks and they make the calls. However, there is so much responsibility put on the front end to correctly call the weight of the rock once it's thrown. It's a skill. It's incredibly difficult. I think it is not always visible the amount of work they have to do. But if you can call the weight of a rock very accurately, it allows your skip or your vice who's in the house to make line calls and determine the best place to put that rock.
I would definitely echo that sentiment. I would say it's equally, we think about the front enders being good sweepers and we think about the physical aspect of sweeping, but the rock judgment is equally, if not more important than actually your physical ability to sweep it.
Well then. You're wide.
Because if you're a great sweeper, but you can never figure out where the rock's going to go, you're probably not going to sweep the rock when you need to sweep the rock.
Exactly.
Yeah. The front end has brains.
Line's good. Just keep curling distance. Go!
This rock looks really good. If they
It
can drag
looks,
that.
it's got to curl just a little bit. Oh, that's a nice
right.
one. Still a little bit of a pocket there for the draw.
Yeah, it seems like this line that both teams have been caught a little bit. All of the rocks have hung a little bit on this line, so we'll see if Christian can pick up on that and get on the inside of that yellow rock.
I think they're going for a little bit of a hit and a rollover here.
The inside.
All right, they want to hit the inside. Essentially, they're going to hit the inside edge of that, send that yellow rock out the side, roll
Go
over,
back at it.
sit the second
Forward.
shot.
Okay.
But it's not moving.
Yeah, same pretty straight. Get the inside on
So we're
it.
down to skip rocks here
You got it.
for Rose.
It looks like they're throwing board at this, so pretty lightweight hit.
Board. Whoa, whoa.
Sweepers
Yes.
like the weight, board weight.
Whoa!
Line, line.
No, no,
Whoa,
no!
whoa, whoa.
Line looks pretty
Oh,
good.
this looks
Yep.
really
Really
nice.
And a little flop in. Look at that.
Oh, that's
Great
an
shot,
excellent shot. Really nice.
I got here last time. Just a hair less.
All right, Matt Mellon's going to try to throw that same rock and maybe try to tuck it in just a little bit more and get into that pocket there and sit shot.
Yeah.
It took a little bit less ice.
Yeah.
The draw is definitely there.
So last rock for Mellon here.
I like their hats.
He's a lefty, so we'll have to recognize in-turns and out-turns
Yes.
are the opposite of what a
a look.
right-handed curler
Oh.
will throw.
Line looks nice here. Weight looks good. It's interesting. It's something I didn't realize for probably my first year or two. The rocks of people who throw right-handed
knife
or
hard,
left-handed
Jax,
do
knife it.
behave a little bit differently.
Hard! Hard!
Oh, it's got a curl.
Really nice weight.
Really nice weight.
Just needed to come over a little bit.
That line is not moving very much.
All right, let's get 3 here.
All right. If Christian can somewhat repeat the shot that he just threw and get on the inside of that, even a nose hit
you
on
throw
that
more
yellow
again?
should give him 3.
Their nose around the inside gives him a great outcome here.
You got this.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity to score multiples here in this first inning and put some pressure on Mellon early in the game.
And this is why hammer becomes so important in this first end, because, you know, you have the last shot and you can either save something or capitalize on an extra point. So super important for those LSDs.
Close the same. A little more up. How's the line?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim. Dig. Get in there.
They got to sweep hard.
They
You
do.
gotta hold it out.
It looks
Come on,
good,
hold,
though.
Hold. There we go.
Really nice shot.
Great, Kristen.
Excellent.
Excellent effort by those sweepers there. Really nice.
Great first end. A
Great
lot of rocks
first
in
end.
play.
Very aggressive approach right out of the gate from both teams. I think this will be an exciting game to watch.
They've got their draw weight. They're figuring out that line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed how quickly they got it with the number of rocks in the house. Great first end there from Rose. However, I always say when I play, if the other team's going to get a big end, do it right at the gate. You have 7 more ends to catch up. We've still got a lot of game left here to play.
All right, so Team Rose with 3 there, and the teams will have 60 seconds in between ends before they reset and restart.
All right. Well, we have a second here. We just want to say that we're so grateful to the generous donors who made this 5 and Under Nationals coverage possible. So we have Andy Miller, Ken Pomeroy, Matt Pesos, Tessa Brockie, David Hurst, and Raman Gilbert. Thank you so much for making this streaming possible. It meant so much to me and
Weight
to
looks
have
okay.
my family be
Weight
able to
looks
watch these
okay.
games. And I think that sentiment is echoed by everybody who played in the 5 Under this year.
Okay. Yeah, line.
All right.
How are you? Okay. Yeah. Great. Good shot.
Perfect.
Shot, Cam.
Looks like Rose here called that first rock in. They've got 3 points on the board, so they're going for a little bit of a different approach.
So Team Mellon really wants to score their 2 here, so instead of drawing into the house, they're going to go ahead and put up that corner guard and ignore that rock that Team Rose just put in the middle.
The main way to score multiple points is that you want to avoid hitting. When you hit, the other team's probably going to hit and follow 2, and at the end, it is more difficult to score multiple points. Best way to give yourself a higher chance of multiple points is guards, even though it can feel
3.
Come
difficult
this
to
way or come
leave
this way?
an
Let's
open
go
rock
this way.
in the house.
We got a little more room.
Not 12.
Okay.
Sure. And if Rose comes in the house again, Mellon will have an opportunity later in the end to essentially clean up that middle.
Go in.
And he may have some rocks then on
What's
the
the
side
line?
already.
Little
So
light.
he intends
looks
to
okay.
clean
Weight
it up
looks okay.
later
Weight
and
looks okay.
score multiple.
Line. I'd
And
go
they-
line.
Line only.
It is? Okay. Now it's coming. Push now.
I anticipate he may ignore this one as well.
I have the same feeling. Going to draw right behind that corner would be my guess.
Fine.
There is a nice juicy double there, though.
This is tempting.
Oh,
That's another way to get
Yep.
behind the corner.
It is
So
fine.
rather than draw
Control.
behind the corner, you could hit and roll behind the corner. Accomplishes the same thing.
I love a hit and roll. I think the difficulty of it is underrated, though. To roll the exact amount you want, very tricky. But when executed well, it's an excellent shot.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh, look at that. Little under roll, still a great
Yep.
shot. Looks like Rose is going to counter, do the exact same thing back.
Yep.
He's choosing to take the outside in approach here, which will send him pretty close to that corner guard. But really wants to roll to the middle and stay in control of the middle
Control.
without
Yep,
hammer here
Anna.
in the second
Anna,
end.
yep.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Actually, it's running straight.
Yeah, that line is not moving very much.
Let it come. On its own.
It's looking nice, though.
Okay.
Nice, Tim.
There you go.
So with that placement,
Just control.
when Mellon attempts this hit and roll behind the guard,
Brown, we
it
gotta come this
actually
way.
could potentially get a double if he lines that up.
It's not a bad plan B at all.
I think his goal here is the hit and roll.
Whoa.
I'm sure they'll take the
Whoa.
double if the line isn't looking right for that
Sure
hit and roll,
thing.
though.
Sure
Whoa.
thing.
Close. Yep. 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 Yep.
Looks
roll.
pretty nice.
Spin.
That
Really
works.
good
He's,
throw, Andy.
as we talked about earlier in the end, really to keep that center open for hammer later. It's now
You can give it to
accomplished.
us.
Things are
So,
spread
we
out
got
to
you.
the wings. Benefits Mellon right now at this point in the end.
A little out.
quick.
A lot of room.
Okay.
It's like T.
Okay.
T back 4. It's got to really drag. If you want to take it.
So yeah, we just noticed that it looks like Cameron is wearing the mic for Team Rose, and so what that's letting us hear is his communication of the way to the rock as he's telling the house how that's traveling down the ice, and so we'll be able to hear some of that back and forth between the front end and the back end on Team Rose.
Yeah.
All right, Mellon's sticking
Even,
with the
even
strategy.
like middle 12's fine.
All right, they're ignoring Rose's rocks. They're going to tuck one behind that corner.
So this is a bit of a more aggressive call. So Team Ellen is really trying to score multiples in this end. Because since he's ignoring that
Well
Team
then.
Rose rock in the 4 foot, that means that Team Rose will be able to either put it back or eliminate this yellow if they keep it open.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Whoa, whoa,
Looks
whoa.
pretty nice here.
Yep.
Because he's placing this
Let's see
rock
here.
in a position that's not shot. So
Just
if he wants
good,
that
D.
rock to count later in the
Good, D.
end, he will absolutely have to clear out the 4 foot.
Oh, yeah. When you have hammer, one of the major things you want to do is keep that scoring area big because you want to make it easier to score multiple points. And the way that you do that is you have a lot of area in which your rocks can score. So you want to keep them out on the wings until the very end.
I like
Middle
the
in.
way.
How's the weight? Yeah, Cam. Whoa.
Weight's all there. Close.
Yeah, line. Gotta go line.
I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to go anymore.
Gotta get down here, though.
Oh, that rock just over curled. So Team Rose was trying to cut off that yellow and make it not count. And they just over curled and ticked off. And so right
Full
now
12.
we've got Team Mellon sitting second shot. And he's going to maintain the aggression and put another one on the side.
He's got a plan, and he is sticking to it. It can be hard as a skip if you come into an end with a plan. When the other team starts making moves that can feel like your plan is the wrong choice. But there is a lot of value. It takes a lot of grit to stick to it and to see it through. Because a lot of times sticking to it can get you a big end. But it can be a little scary when the other team starts putting rocks into the 4 foot.
Should be close. Derek, go a little. Whoa. Good, Joe.
Another nice one there.
Really nice.
Look at that. They're setting themselves really up really nicely behind that corner guard. Let's see what Rose is going to do here. All right, a little bit of corner freeze. It's an aggressive shot, but it's a great shot if you can make it.
Yeah, the two options here is to come down and try to outcount those 2 yellows by coming on the corner, or to put another rock in the middle.
Close the same.
If they put another rock
Close
in the
the
middle,
same.
It'll probably set up a double opportunity for Team Ellen. So that's
Still move on the line.
probably why Christian
Yep.
is choosing
Yep.
to come to the
Me only.
side here.
Me only.
I'm also imagining they're getting a little worried because they have one rock in there that outcounts the other two.
Yep.
I'm imagining they want a rock
Me?
the other team
Yep.
can't easily remove. And that's looking pretty nice.
Ooh,
A
so
little
that's-
heavy. Yeah.
So this particular shot was when I mentioned
I
rock
think it's still
management
this.
earlier, because the other option would have been
And
to
even
come
if it does
around
this,
that
it's a jam, right?
that top yellow
Like,
and freeze on the back
I'd
yellow.
like you to get over here.
The miss that just happened,
think if it dead
tick and
nuts
roll
here, we're
off,
still
really
2-3.
gives Team Mellon an opportunity to hit it and remove it, and then potentially
you can get to the
sit
inside
second,
here.
third, and fourth
You see
shot.
more than I think? Okay, cool.
Those corner
I
freezes are
prefer
so
that
hard,
then.
especially when you have to throw them in this
Let's just
situation.
throw, like-
You can't be light,
You on board at it?
and it's really easy to overthrow them.
Okay. Board weight.
All right, we got just a board weight hit to chip this out.
Yep. Hard.
Sweeping.
That
Pretty
was
early here.
Really, never feels great as the thrower when they
Whoa.
call on the sweeper immediately.
Yep.
Yeah,
Whoa.
a little narrow here. The peel, however, is not terrible. Not the ideal outcome, but I think it's still a very workable end for Mellon here.
Better, honestly. Like, they got back in there. Right.
He was pretty tight on that one.
All
He
right,
was
so
like
this
tight
is
by like a foot on that one. I want to get in the
one of those situations where an end can be looking really good for one team. It was just looking really good for Team Mellon, and
top 8 would be great here.
that particular
Top
miss
8?
is going to give
top
Team
8.
Rose the opportunity
kinda
to
tight
sit
because
3,
they
which is
back
going to flip it and put
Yeah,
quite a bit
I
of
think it
pressure
starts
on
pressure
Team
on.
Mellon.
Looks like Rose here is just going to draw to the top 4. More,
Really
I'm
tight
imagining
to
they
the
want
floor,
it
tight to
exactly
the
in
ball.
that line with the rock in the back 4, make them very difficult to remove both of those. And very difficult to
it a go.
draw.
One of the other things we tend to talk about is how to miss.
I like the way.
Because all of us miss shots. It's part of curling. And trying
Well,
to miss in ways that still help you manage the risk in a particular end is something that we all tend to try to discuss
Yep.
and aspire to.
Line.
Hard scrub there from Cabrera.
Weight's looking good.
It does. Might overcurl a little bit.
Probably
Very
came
nice
in a
Christian.
tad more than he wanted to, but still really good.
Still
really
a
good
great
outcome.
rock there. Yeah. How to miss is a great. That's a great
over,
point
over.
from Melissa, and I think that brings so much of the importance of the front end yelling the
gotta
weight
hit line.
correctly to whoever is
gotta,
calling the
hit
line in
here.
the house, because it is when the weight is wrong.
Probably going
If the
over
weight,
top,
if the
but
thrower
even if
threw
it's
the
a
wrong
little
weight,
thick
which
and it
all
makes
of us
that
have
double,
done, I will
not
continue
bad.
to do for the rest of my
I think
curling
that's the
career.
play, though.
If the front end can
Like,
accurately tell the
here
person calling the line in the house what the weight is, it gives them time and the ability
you
to
know.
decide what to do with it. Because if the weight is wrong, there's still a lot of times something you can do to make that rock be valuable. But when that weight call is wrong out the gate,
Oh,
which
yeah,
I've also
buddy.
called the weight wrong and will continue to do throughout the rest of my curling career, it makes it much more difficult as the person in the house to figure out what to do with the rock.
All right, so Matt's got a double opportunity here, so he's going to try to remove the top 2 reds.
He's throwing a lot of weight at this. I'm excited to see what happens here.
Close. Whoa, whoa. Yes, yes, yes. Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's
What
an
a good
excellent shot.
Wow.
He actually jumps the hack when he throws those high hit weights. He takes his slider foot and actually picks it up and brings it forward. And it allows him to be able to generate all of that hit weight to do things like that. It was an excellent shot. And it leaves him behind the corner. Really couldn't have asked for a better result there.
Yeah, that
Risk
double
here
angle
is
was
we
really
don't get,
nice
this hit.
because it slid that red in between the 2 yellows and he's sitting 2-3-4 again.
Really nice shot from him. Again, an end can change in the course of one rock in the favor of one team or another. As I say when I'm playing, you can never get comfortable because the second you get comfortable, everything comes out from under you. I think they're just drawn again here.
Even if it's open, it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Right.
quite catch the placement that they're really looking
We
for
just don't
here.
wanna be on a
Me
deep
either.
angle
It looks
ball.
like a little bit too little broom for just a draw right in front of the one they
And
just
you don't
threw.
wanna be, like,
So I'm wondering if they're trying to corner freeze on that yellow one
by
that
the
the
guard.
Melon just threw.
I think
Drawing
he's
down
hoping.
towards theirs on their side.
Julie, what would you do in this
Rather
situation?
than guarding on
That's a
it.
great question. I mean,
Yeah, I think they do want to be a double.
they want to
right?
hold
Deanna Freeze is
them
the call.
to as few points as possible. So you really want that rock to either be in a spot that's
Tell
hard to
from the
get
line
to,
Once we're past that guard.
or hard to draw around. But Melon, if it's open, Melon will be at least able to attempt a double, to go
I
for
like the weight.
3 potentially. So
Well,
this
my
rock
side.
Line.
placement's super important.
That rock that
Hard
Melon just
line.
threw was a
Line.
great shot for them. Makes Rose's life a little bit more difficult
I
here.
think he's actually going for the freeze here. I think that was the called shot.
I think so. It looks pretty nice.
All right,
Oh, a
Christian,
little
good
bit
shot.
heavy.
It's really good.
So this does make it difficult with the angles for Melon to come around the
Think
guard
so.
and get 2 rocks out. So
Yeah.
really good placement, actually.
I don't really see a way at anything more than the single.
Look,
I
it's
think
like
Matt
you've done
agrees.
this before, Julie.
That's just too risky right now.
Yeah, great outcome there from Rose.
Get on the board.
So
When you don't have hammer,
There with control.
ideally you'd like to steal, but the second best outcome there is to force the other team to just get 1 point. Because when you do that, you're almost forcing them to waste the hammer.
don't
Like
see anything.
with hammer, you always want 2 points because you have the last rock, you have that second chance, you have another. It's easier to get a
Nothing
second
else.
point. If you can't steal, if you can force the team to 1, that's still a win. You don't always have to score for the outcome of the end to be in your favor.
absolutely. The math works out. If you can score multiple when you have hammer and hold the other team to 1 when they have hammer, that math does work out. 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah, and you win by having the most points. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of considering the force a success. That's what we should be thinking when we don't have hammer as curlers. I think a lot of 5U curlers really do want to steal in every end, but in order to do that, you usually have to take quite a bit of risk. So the force is very much a success. So
Yes.
this was a really good end for Team Rose.
that was an excellent end. It was a great comeback by Rose there. The end really seemed like it was the control of that end was going back and forth the whole time. Like it looked like Rose had it, Melon would grab it. Really went back and forth. Really fun end to watch. All right.
Lots of rocks in play on this end, too. So this should be an exciting game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we got their 60-second break here. Both teams probably going to have a little really quick debrief and then a conversation about what they're going to do in the future. Figure out the plan for the next couple ends.
Yeah, so one thing I might be like to chat about is USA curling and the national championships that are really trying to grow the sport, and this is one of them with 5U. So I think we always think of our national championships in terms of our elite curlers and their path to Worlds or their path to the Olympics, but what's really pretty cool that USA Curling has invested in a championship like 5U, where for those of us who found the sport of curling kind of in our adult years and in our first 5 years, have an opportunity to come to a championship that they put on, and we have the good ice, we have the good rocks, we have timers, and it's a really cool opportunity for those of us who don't have as much experience with the sport. So
I fully agree with you, Alyssa. When I started curling at 28 years old,
Here's
I
really
didn't
nice.
think there'd be any opportunity for me to compete really at all, let alone in a national level. It was like, I'm an adult.
You can go
Like, I'm
middle.
not going to the
Yeah, straight.
Olympics. Like,
Straight,
so it was,
go. Yes.
and I just have a competitive nature, and so it's been really fun for me
Hi,
as an
Jack.
adult starting in this
Good.
sport to have a place where I can be competitive and get to go to a nationals.
I think.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, when we think about a lot of sports in our country, we pick them up in our youth years.
Yep.
And you have youth programs, you have juniors programs, and certainly we have juniors programs in curling. But for those of us who live in parts of the country, maybe not
Middle out.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the
Lot of room.
Northeast,
Whoa, whoa.
curling is not
Lot of
quite as
room.
popular. So many
And
of
you're
us have
pushing.
watched the Olympics
Switch
and
then.
gotten interested in the sport
Yep.
a bit
Yep.
later in
Yep.
life. And
Yep.
and
Push.
so I've really enjoyed. I've been here at nationals the past 3 years. This is my 5th year. So this was my last nationals
Aw.
for 5U. But there's a really awesome group of curlers who, there's so many of us that travel to a lot of different bonspils and qualifiers throughout the country. And one of the other cool aspects of the 5U division is that it's open geographically. In other words, teams can put together players from all different parts of the country. So my 5U team this year consisted of myself from Houston, someone from Denver. We had 2 folks from Orange County in California, and another member from San Francisco Bay Area. So we were a team from all over. And there's several teams here at Nationals that are that have that different makeup. Now, the 2 teams we're watching here, I believe all the members of these teams are from their home clubs, which give them a bit of an advantage, and they can play leagues together and practice a bit together. So you've got different team makeups here at 5U Nationals.
What's also really fun about the 5 under nationals is that there is no requirement for gender. So, and the other nationals events, men's, women's, or mixed, you are, as the states, as the name would make you believe, you have to have a team of all women or men, or in mixed, you have to have 2 women and 2 men. So what's really fun about the 5 under format is that there is no gender requirement. You can play in any configuration you would like.
Yeah, I really would like to give a shout out to Charlotte Curling Club this year. I thought that their Bonspiel qualifier format was really unique in that they required a mixed gender team for that qualifier. There was no restrictions on how many or what positions or what have you, or throwing order or anything like that. So it was not like mixed fours, but it meant that every team had to have a bit of a mixed gender in there. So it helps get more women in the sport, which is something we struggle with.
Yes. I want to come back to that, but Melon just made a...
Come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're into second rocks on this third end here. Mellon does not have last rock, scoring that last point. He's not got last rock, so he's put up a center guard. He's got a second rock close to center, so 2 guards to take advantage of the free guard zone. So now we're into the opportunity to start peeling. So Rose is looking to peel a center guard here and open up the front.
Rose wants to get that stuff out of there. They want the center open so that they can score at the end. However, Mellon's doing the opposite thing. They want the exact opposite. They want to close that center down so they can get that scoring area tight so that they can either steal or force the other team to win.
So that rock curled a little bit more than they wished, so they end up with 2 center guards here. Mellon's going to come around both of them. If he makes a nice shot in front of the tee line, it may be difficult to remove.
Yeah, the double centers can be really powerful because if you peel the one, there's still another one there. So you have to waste 2 rocks to get both of those out of the way, while the other team is more than likely putting those back.
Curl, 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 a little bit.
Looks really
Looks really nice here.
Gotta go.
Took advantage of those 2 centers.
Nice shot.
Right in front of the tee line.
Great weight there.
They draw it down to it. Okay.
They're going to come right down to it.
I like the weight.
So they could try to peel again, but a little piece of that rock was sticking out, so they decided to try the freeze. They may clear out the guards later in this end here.
I think a little tap here isn't bad either.
Should be right corner. Might be right by it.
Okay.
Weight was great. Needed to
Weight
come over
was
just
great.
a little.
This ice is amazing. It's also incredibly sensitive to how people release the rock or let go of it. So everybody's released a little bit different. The way those rocks behave
But I think
changes.
for now, let's hit. Just
All
give
right.
me I like board to control. Even this is fine, right?
Mellon doesn't have hammers, so they want to get those
Which one
rocks
you
out of there.
prefer?
I always like when the skip asks and you have an opportunity to say what you like.
I think you checked in on weight. You know, what's the preferred weight? Because there's a few that could work here.
There are. And it's nice as front end. Like, you don't always get an option, but when you do, it's nice.
Whoa!
This looks really good here. Nice shot. Looks like, can't tell if they're going for the hit here or they. Oh, they are going for the hit. I think there's a possibility to get both of those out.
So Anna's throwing control weight here.
Yep.
Sweepers like the weight.
Whoa.
Control up.
Yeah, it looks nice.
12.
Okay.
Good shot. Didn't curl as much as I wanted. Still a good outcome. I'd also like to mention my boyfriend has more than once commented on how great Cameron's mustache is.
This is pro side.
All right, so he's talking about pro side. Pro side means if you miss, this is still a good outcome. So when you are the thrower, they can be pro side heavy or pro side light. Mostly it means if the pro side is heavy, you're going to throw the rock at a weight that you're pretty sure is there. And if it's a little bit heavy, that's okay. If the pro side is light, what you're going to try to do is throw the rock a little bit lighter and let your sweepers take it the rest of the way.
Clean.
I think that's a really important conversation.
Yep.
The
Yes.
tolerance
Yes.
for a
Hard.
rock,
Hard.
especially,
Hard.
you know,
Hard.
nobody's perfect.
Hard.
So we're going to miss our shots here and there.
No.
So it's important to know if you're going to
Gotta
miss, should you miss
Keep
a little
going,
light
keep
or miss
going.
a little heavy? Sometimes
job.
it sets you up for the next rock. Sometimes it prevents the next shot from, you know, if you had a plan in mind. So you really do want to get used to in the hack, really thinking about not planning to miss, obviously, but
No.
knowing what the miss is, either light or heavy or inside or outside. Really, then the sweepers and the thrower can have that conversation, and the skip can have a plan B, C, D as it's coming down the ice.
Yeah, Cam.
Christian called the freeze here. So he's trying to come down onto that shot rock.
Out the way.
But the freeze is
Keep
not going to
going,
move
line.
that yellow rock
Line,
off
line,
the button.
line, all the
So he
way.
must have a plan to remove it with his last two rocks. So
Gotta
that
go,
way
gotta go.
he
Kim,
can
no.
potentially turn
Yeah.
this into a multiple score.
Keep coming, though. You gotta
I'm
get
wondering
by.
if he's planning to get this freeze and then hope
Here we go.
that Mellon doesn't throw a guard and then hit that red
Good
one
shot.
again, send it into the
Good
yellow and send that out the back, and then they have 2 or 3.
It's a really nice shot. They made the shot they called.
It is a nice shot.
Guard.
All right, yep, I think they're going to guard them from doing that. They really
Should I
don't
guard
want
that? I'm probably
Rose
like
here to
here.
hit that red one they just throw through, send it into their yellow one, send the yellow out the back,
Can't give him any.
and then all of a sudden they sit 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
I
he
don't
guards
think
this
he can
up,
see anything on this side. So
it's really going to be difficult to get to
Ideally
that
right
yellow.
here.
There are 3 rocks in front of it.
Yeah, that shot, that yellow shot that was thrown
Yeah.
last rock was a great outcome for them. All right, they're just putting up a guard.
See any of the yellow on the other side? So just guard it up. Like a 2, 2.5. Just gotta make tight's fine.
So you heard Matt refer to the guard as a 2, 2.5. We break the guard zone into 3 sections. So 1 would be just over the hog line, 2 is about halfway in between the hog line and the house, and 3 is a guard that is closer to the house. So he's looking for a guard that's about halfway to 2/3 between the hog line and the house. But right now the line is really more important than the weight. So they're really trying to get this lined up so that it takes away that raise.
Weight's looking nice, got a curl.
Harder! Harder!
Oh, great scrub there.
Looks like they just closed up that port, so there's not necessarily an easy way to get to that top red.
Nope. I think they're looking at the hit and roll here. It's a good shot.
I think the only way to get to that button now is to use your own rock, hit and roll over to the
You can
button.
also open
It always
up again
feels
and make him
weird,
throw
but
it
it's
again.
not doing anything for them right now, so they might as well use it. If anything, it could do something for the other team.
3rd shot right now.
Yeah, I think this gets rid of, aside from the fact it gives them an opportunity to get the scoring rock, it also removes that rock from play and makes sure Mellon can't throw this shot next.
What? Yeah. Hey, you ever think about opening it up again? Make him throw it again? and then you maybe get a better look at it. Because
Um,
this does, if it does that, he has to throw the guard, right? And then it.
right now, I'm feeling this one.
Okay, you got it.
So I think what is a really interesting conversation here, a lot of times this front end,
What's that?
you have an opinion, you're also seeing the game, the skip can
I
come
get just
down,
inside a nose
you
a
mention
little
your
bit.
opinion. At the end of the day, the skip has to throw the rock. It is what they have to throw it. It is what, if they have a shot that they are the most comfortable throwing, then that is what they should throw. You're going to make what you feel comfortable with.
Control down.
What Cameron was referring to is Team Mellon's really only trying to score one here. So if this shot isn't
Not yet,
made,
not
he's
yet.
probably going to
Now.
throw up another guard. That will really make it difficult
Alright.
for Rose to score in this end.
Yep.
Didn't quite come up as much as they needed it to
Either
get
this or
into
the
that
straight
button.
draw.
So
I think this
No,
is
some of
better,
those lines are
safer.
running a little bit straighter, or
The
if you
only
set them
thing
out
is,
just
if
a little
we
bit,
nose
they
it-
never seem to curl.
I think his
So I think
double still
Matt's
catches
looking
this.
to
So
do
nose is fine.
the same thing.
Yep.
Use that
Okay,
rock,
let's
come
play for
into
the
that
roll, though.
button. He may end up be sitting two.
Hit and roll. I mean, I think they run into the
Still
same
like-
thing that
still like control.
Rose just did. If they can make it, that's great. If they don't, I think they have a little bit of luck in the fact that it would
Try it.
probably sit high enough that if they
Yep.
just nose it, I think the rock is sitting too high in the house that I don't think Rose could ever hit and roll for the shot rock.
Yeah, this rock at this point is not going to be a
Control.
scoring rock, but
No.
it
Yeah.
is usable by both teams. So Christian just tried to use
Yeah, we can get
the
into
rock
second.
that was in this
let's
similar
go.
position for a hit and roll, and now there's two advantages for Team Mellon to throw this shot. One, if he gets the hit and roll, great. He might sit two. The other is just take it away from Team Rose so that
Yeah.
they won't have the same shot available.
Exactly. Even if they nose it, that rock is now too high in the house for a hit and roll for a point.
Whoa. Girl.
So to your point, Anna, running pretty straight there.
Yeah, it's not moving very much out there.
Few rocks in a row with that weight. Ran
Yeah.
pretty straight. So
We were seeing that on sheet 4 too when we played it, which was surprising and threw us off a little bit because I feel like every other line's curling so much. I think he's just. Is he going for this hit and roll again?
No, he's gonna draw.
I think it's
No,
a
he's
draw.
going to draw. He
He's
just
drawing?
said it. Yeah.
Yeah, draw to the button.
Where do we need to
I
be?
think you tapped over for the
that?
draw.
Where's our yellow?
Not sure they can get all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. However, you can. This ice is so sweepable. You can really make some shots happen that without a sweeper would be impossible.
The angle's not there to use that yellow to come into the button area. So
No,
is this really what he has?
I like the way.
it's worth a shot. I also think
Pretty
sometimes if you're playing, you're like, it's worth a shot. And if you look at the outcome, you're like, there's no way to make it worse. So you
This
might as
is
well go for it.
Not going to hurt anything.
How's the
Nope.
line? Okay.
Sweepers haven't touched it. Seems
So
might
it's a
be
little
just
up,
a
like back
just
four.
a bit heavy.
It might make it.
All right.
Ah, it was a really close try there. Again, another exciting end. Lots of rocks in play. Mellon, I'm sure, is pretty pleased with that outcome.
So steal of one for Mellon. Score is 3-2 for Rose after 3 ends.
All right, so score update in the other semifinal. If you're interested in looking at scores, they are available on Curling Zone. So we've got Will Meyer up 3-0 on Dan Bliven. So we've had 2 steals in the second and third ends by Meyer. So Bliven will certainly be looking to score a multiple.
I believe Bliven are the defending champions from last year.
That is correct. So Team Bliven and Team Mellon played in the final last year in 2023 5U Nationals. So Bliven came away with the gold medal, and Team Mellon came away with the silver medal. So Bliven's looking to defend his title, and Mellon's looking to advance to the gold medal final to get himself a gold medal.
All right. Let's see what Mellon's doing here. A lot of really nice slides here. Really stable, really smooth.
Sweepers are communicating that the rock is definitely in the
Bring it to top
house.
4. 15-2. You're pretty close. You can get there.
So you're hearing Melon just gave you the long time. So the long time is the time that the rock is between the two
fine,
hog
Jax.
lines.
Good.
And that can give you a really good sense of the speed of the ice and also just an idea of where that rock is going to end up, so you can help your sweepers out a little bit.
So it looks like we're keeping this end a little bit more clean.
Jim.
Both teams are going for the hit strategy,
Jim.
trying to minimize the number of
Jim.
points scored.
Whoa. We'll let it go the other way here. Hopefully. There we go.
Nice hit there. I actually missed what the call for Melon was. Was he calling for in or was he calling for the guard?
I didn't catch what
Yeah,
he
out
was
of the guard
calling.
again.
Christian would have certainly had
Play
an
the guard.
opportunity to either throw a corner guard or the hit. He chose to keep the end a little bit less risky and
Yeah.
call the takeout. But it looks like Melon's trying to put up a guard now, so I'm going to guess that his initial call was probably for the guard.
It really hard is lead. I think is an underrated position in the difficulty, because of the 5 rock rule. If you ask for a guard, if you throw your guard in, it is now hittable. So you can change the trajectory of an entire end with that first rock you throw.
Really got to get it moving.
Right, got to curl a little bit here. In addition to the 5 rock rule, there is also the center line tick rule.
Right,
So
Jax.
if during the 5 rock rule there is a guard touching the center
you got
line,
it.
the other team is not allowed to tick it and remove it off of the center line. If that happens, the rock that was thrown goes away and the guard goes back. So there's a lot of value in getting your
Fine.
center guard onto that center line.
Whoa.
Okay. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wait till it turns, and then you got to push, if anything. If anything.
So because Team Melon's center guard came up more like a
go
corner
ahead.
guard, Team Rose is
Make it
using
first,
that to go around a corner.
Cool. I think another important thing to note here is that these games are timed. So each team gets 30 minutes of thinking time. So the rule of thumb here is it's the time in which the rocks are not moving. So aside from, you are not, both teams are not given unlimited time to think about what
whoa, it's
shots to
running.
play. And you want to make sure you save time for when you really need it, which tends to be closer to the end of the game. So it can be a little bit stressful,
Just let it die.
but it's a skill you just get
Sit.
better at over time in trying to make calls quickly so that you
Good
don't
idea.
waste time when you don't need to waste
Really
it.
nice.
Because 30 minutes sounds like a lot. It really is not.
So that particular call
control.
for Team Ellen was relatively aggressive. Team Rose has got 2 rocks in play, and they've got hammer. And so the other option for Mellon in that last shot would have been to remove one of those and
Normal.
kinda
Wide.
reduce the risk of an end. But they made an
Normal.
excellent freeze,
Yeah,
right.
beautiful shot there.
which is going to be a little tricky to remove. So we'll see if Tim can get a
we
good
get
angle
the
on
top of
this,
it?
Go,
this
Pam.
yellow.
He might have it here. Really close. Opens up that scoring area, gives him a pocket. However, it also gives the pocket to the other team. Oh,
All right, now we're going to look to remove a little bit of risk here.
Control.
Shift in the strategy a little here.
Mellon really seems to like those hit and rolls.
Hit and roll is kind of the best of both worlds. If you've got
Clean.
in 5U, we all tend
Hit.
to
Whoa,
struggle a little
whoa,
bit with
curl,
hitting the
curl,
broom
curl,
or
curl,
having a
curl.
clean release. But if you've got a team who can throw consistent lines,
Just
the
find
hit
it.
and roll really lets you control the risk of an end by removing an opponent's rock and try to put a rock where you want it. So the other option would be to draw to put the rock where you want it, but that really leaves a lot of your opponent's rocks in play, and that could risk giving up a big end later.
All right, so it looks like he's just going to corner freeze down to this yellow rock
I like the
that
line.
they just ticked over.
Be a hair down. You go.
You hear Cameron thinking the
Yep.
rock
Cam, if
is
anything.
just ever so slightly
Cam's
light.
rock.
Me. Well,
Oh, yeah, it's really got a curl.
It's got the weight.
It definitely does.
Sorry.
That's still a good shot.
Dead on the beak. You got all of it?
Dead on the beak. That's the first I've heard that, but
You know,
I knew what he
control's
meant.
Fine. Got to get this thing out to here.
So Matt's really got two options here. He could come down and freeze on top of it, which would make that really difficult to remove, or he could just get rid of them. The red rocks are positioned such that if they cross the nose of this or hit the nose dead on the beak, as Matt referred to, he's pretty sure he'll be able to
Clean.
get rid of.
Go,
It'll
Jax,
certainly
go,
send
go,
the back
go.
red
Yep, yep,
going.
yep.
He'll probably send that top red over
Got to get it to the nose,
to the
Jax.
side and not be sitting.
Move it. Move it.
Not
Looks
be
like-
sitting, but fourth shot.
Oh, great
Joe.
sweep there.
Oh, he made the
Lovely double.
Turned out really nice. He
Yeah.
even rolled in behind one
It's
of his
like-
own.
It's like that's an excellent outcome of that shot. They've got, what, 3 rocks in the house, 2 of them undercover?
Yeah, and they've really reduced the scoring area. So Team Rose is left the 4 foot, and that's all they've got to work with to try and score their multiples
Yeah.
right now.
They're under a little bit of pressure here, but the end is not over for them by any means.
See, Tim raises broom. It probably means that he's thinking the rock's just a touch heavy.
Oh, maybe not.
Seem maybe coming down. Sweepers seem to like the weight.
it's like T.
Seems like it's just not quite curling enough.
Yeah, these lines seem to be really weight sensitive. If you're
Alright.
up a little bit, they just don't come back as much.
That was really
Dead
good
nose.
weight thrown by
Probably gotta
Anna.
give me
Just
board.
didn't quite curl up
Probably
enough.
got to give me
No.
board.
Great shot, though.
Board.
Still hard for them to hit it out. They risk hitting their own yellow on the side. However, that still sits them not in a bad spot.
Whoa. Jax, right away. Jackson!
Might be a little tight here. Calling for
Yeah.
the sweep.
I'm
oh, we're
thinking it's
calling
the
for
other way.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we're calling for the curl. Here we go. Needs to curl.
Oh, nice. The sweep there saved that. Great
So
sweep
he really
from
carved
Jackson.
that over.
All right.
Excellent
Sweep.
work there.
Back to sitting 3 for Mellon.
Yeah.
Remind the
What
same
would you
thing.
do here, Julie, if you were
Great.
Rose?
Well, I mean,
Take this.
the middle's
I think
still
you have to
open.
come back here.
Anna
Yeah.
had such wonderful
here.
weight on
Yeah.
that draw. If it can curl just another couple inches, I think that freeze, since she just threw it, do it again.
I think there's a lot of value, especially in the 5 under, no matter how good you are. If you have a teammate, if they just threw a shot and you have the option to have them throw that same thing again,
Little
Do it.
wide.
She had fantastic
Yeah,
weight.
well,
We
she
just
did.
needed to curl maybe a
wide.
couple inches. Perfect freeze will be really difficult to get it out.
a perfect freeze is an incredibly powerful
no.
shot.
Go. Yep.
But it
don't wanna
is
guard it.
difficult to throw.
Come on.
They need to go for weight.
Ah,
Oh, we may have lost that one just a little bit. Gotta go for weight.
really good
Ooh.
sweep there.
That was really nice line.
It was excellent sweep.
I think it's like here.
Drug it at the end.
I think they're going to guard him just from tapping it up.
Yeah, Team Mellon is sitting 2 right now.
Probably around
potentially 3.
there.
It's
That
hard to
should be
tell
good.
from this angle.
Just thinking if
but
we
they're at
can
least
plug the
sitting
hole
2.
and the tap.
Yeah, I think they're happy with where they are.
Here,
They're just going to guard, prevent the other team from getting in there.
You heard
Should be
Matt
good.
say he wants to plug the hole, so would prevent Team Rose from drawing behind.
Does a lot there, prevents the draw. There is still that draw on the other side,
Trying to
but you
plug the
can't
hole
guard
in the tap.
everything.
He's probably playing the out-turn draw. But he's been a little heavy on those, so I'm fine giving it to him. And if he makes it, we'll stack on top.
Yeah, I think it's always good to. Mellon brings up a great point there. You want to watch what the other team's doing, and you want to watch to see what they seem
Just
to be
sliver
stronger
less.
at. If you can give them a shot, it's what they've been missing. Just puts the odds more in your favor. However, you never know. You can say you're like, oh, they've been struggling to hit, and then the second you say it, everybody gets
Felt nice.
their sea legs under them and gets it back going. So you can never assume
Jackson's
anything.
rock.
You could
what you just heard from Matt, though, is one of my favorite parts of curling, and this is the part of the game that's much like chess.
Line's
So,
good.
so Matt's trying to place a rock here,
Gotta
and he
go.
already has thought about what he
Head
thinks
down.
Christian's going to throw next, and so that's a
Curl,
big part of this
curl.
game is if you put a rock here
Good.
and understanding what that leaves your opponent, what they're likely to do. So you should be thinking 2-3 rocks in advance, and the best skips can see the end of the end at the beginning of the end. So that's
Yeah,
some experience that you're seeing from Matt Mellon.
beautiful shot there from him. I always say it's like chess. Like it's curling is like chess, but if you had a 50% chance of the piece going where you want it to go, like,
This is where the skip does have a few scenarios of the end
Yep.
in mind.
Especially in 5U curling.
I think it's just
yes, I feel like in 5 under,
and then we're buried.
so much of it is consistency, and you get that just naturally with practice as your years go on. But at the beginning, you have to plan to be like, we might make this, we might also miss it by 2 feet. And then as you get, as your years of curling go on.
Yeah, you see our
Yeah.
elite curlers curling 80 and 90%, but yeah, I think 50% is pretty
Pretty light handle.
pretty typical for many of our 5U teams.
Line. Line.
All right, so just as Mellon predicted, we've got Christian trying this
That's
outturn draw.
It looks pretty
It
nice
looks really
here.
good. They got around that guard.
It
they
looks
swept for
really
line.
nice here.
Weight is beautiful.
Just going to
Beautiful.
tick on that yellow, roll that in. Excellent
Beauty.
shot there. That was beautiful.
So Mellon did have to
Well,
leave him
I
one
think we just
shot.
hit the force.
You
One
can't,
way or the other, you can't guard both sides.
You
but
can't.
Rose
It's-
took advantage of that.
It's probably playing
it's
this draw
nerve-wracking
still,
when you're the other team to be like, you can't, you
but
got to
he
just
played
pick.
this one, so
You have to pick one to guard.
So what you're seeing from Matt here is he's trying to
Probably like
guard that same draw path that Christian just
probably
threw.
out here. I
And
mean,
he's demonstrating
the
some
ideal
maturity here
guard-
in that he's okay with the force. He doesn't have hammer, and the force is a success. And so
Outta
he's
there.
not looking to be
The
shot
ideal
right now.
guard's like
He's just looking to prevent
here.
Team Rose from scoring
So.
two.
There's plenty of game left.
yeah,
We're in the fourth end. We'll have a break right after this. Half the game is still left,
it's not
so
worth it.
he is not panicking.
Give him
Giving
the
up
same
one
shot, he's making
as a
it.
force is very easy to come back from.
Not panicking is, curling has really taught me the value of not panicking.
Talk to me about
Yeah.
that, Anna.
Well, once you panic, obviously you're going to have, or at least I do, or most people do, a physical reaction of manifesting that panic. And then the rocks you throw are going to represent that.
You can be a little heavier.
And then
three if
you're
you
going
need
to
it.
start missing, and your
Broadside's
panic's going to
heavier.
increase.
That's a really important discussion. I mean, one rock at a time. We always talk about that. Just because you miss one rock does not mean that it predicts the future for the next rock. So you reset. You're a great curler. You missed a shot. That doesn't mean you're not a great curler.
Play
So just get
frozen,
back in
play
the hack and your
frozen.
next shot,
All the way,
reset,
yes,
and
yes.
Nice shot there from Mellon.
really nice.
I am curious if they can hit that yellow in the back there, sit two.
I think we just draw in that.
Rose?
That-
Yeah, or
that-
did it just draw?
I think
That
they're going
draw's
to try
still
to get
there.
another one in there.
It's definitely still there.
Yeah, that rock by Mellon just overcurled just enough
Yeah.
that it's possible for
Yeah.
Christian to maybe take just a hair more ice and get right back into
Yeah.
that same draw path that he just threw.
there.
Even if they just sit on that yellow one in the back of the 4-foot there, I think they'll sit too. But yeah, I think my team is really big on, we call it the goldfish mentality. You have to forget. But you also have to forget not just when your shots are bad, you have to forget when your shots were good. Because each rock is a new rock. You can't get cocky, but you also can't focus on your misses.
Yeah,
Right.
this is wider.
Keep going, try
That was
again,
narrow
let
on
it
the
go.
I think
It's a lot
pretty
easier to
close
say
the
than
white.
it is to do.
Maybe a little
But
fresher path.
it's a
but-
It
good.
is.
Still diving.
And especially in a high-pressure game. You're in a semifinal. Nerves are a little high in the beginning.
It's hard.
These two teams are
Close to third.
experienced. They won't have as many nerves as we might
I'd go a
anticipate.
little.
They're really settled in. They had draw weight that first
Oh,
end.
they
were throwing
absolutely did.
some aggressive strategy in the first end, so they were both ready to go.
It's why they're here in the semifinals.
No, we're
It's
on
not
it.
there.
Really
on it.
good scrub there.
I think a little light.
Uh,
That's all.
that's okay. They scored one here with an excellent draw.
So we're going to the fourth end break. Coaches and fifth players can come out on this fourth end break. It's 5 minutes. Both of these teams have fantastic coaches that are about to come out. The Rose team has Sean Franey from Denver coaching their team. Mellon team has Corey Dropkin coaching them. So they've got some expertise coming out to have a conversation. I am coaching here for the first time at 5U, and we could talk about what we talk about on breaks in a minute here. But
Yeah.
to wrap it up, after the fourth end, Christian Rose is at 3, Matt Mellon's at 2, so 3-2 after 4. In the
It's
other
4-2.
4-2.
I'm so sorry. 4-2
He
for
just scored us
Rose.
one.
4-2 for Rose after 4. And then in our other semifinal game,
We
Will
don't-
Meyer
We
is
don't have the score yet for the fourth end in the other semifinal game. So we'll get that score to you after the break.
They just finished up too. Looks like we're on a. Both teams are doing great on their time management here. Really quick before we go to break, thank you again to all the sponsors for making the streaming happen. We're incredibly grateful to you. And we'll.
Whoa.
Where we at? Where we at?
All
Down a
right,
little. You can
welcome
go.
back, everybody. Looks like we're back in play.
All there. All there. Good throw.
All right, Rose's first rock is in, and looks like that was the call. Intrigued to see what Mellon does here.
So at the end of the fourth end, Rose scored 1.
2.5, 3.
So the score is 4-2 for Rose after 4 ends. So Matt Mellon will have last rock here.
Looks like he's sticking with his corner guard strategy. They need to get points on the board here.
Should be about a little faster here. A little faster after the sweep.
Mellon's bringing up a great point. During the break, they actually take a broom to the
If
ice,
you can go, Dales, go.
and it does make it a little bit faster. It can catch you off guard.
Keep going, Dales. Keep going. Yep. Help him.
So
Really
Matt
good,
has
Jax.
ignored
Nice
that
throw.
red rock in the house, calling for a corner guard. Perfect shot.
Nice corner there.
Whoa.
We've seen the beginning of this end before. Rose has one in, and they're going to throw another one in the house to cover it.
Good line.
Whoa. It's not breaking yet. Yeah, now.
Yep, yep,
It's
yep.
breaking now. Go.
There's a lot of importance in waiting to sweep a rock to curl until it's started to
Margin
curl. If you don't, you actually risk keeping it out wide and preventing it from curling. So finding that break point, really vital. Mellon's going behind that corner again.
So with that center guard attempt not quite getting over to the center, Matt has an opportunity to take advantage of his corner guard and come behind it.
Okay. Play for top 8.
Julie, you mentioned coaching before the break. Do you want to talk about what your coaching experience was like this week?
Happy
Dale's
to,
in.
Alyssa. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, line's good. Line's good.
No,
Line's good.
Alyssa invited me on her last year of 5U to
Dale's going well.
do my
Yep.
foray of coaching into 5U.
going, keep
I
going,
have
keep going.
really enjoyed this
pair, Jax.
championship. Like Anna and Alyssa talked about at the beginning of the broadcast here, this championship is
Yeah.
first class. There are timers, there
If we
are
pick ours,
amazing
it's
ice
okay.
conditions. A number of volunteers need to, put this together, and it's just really first class. It's amazing. I've noticed that these two
line.
teams, right, have coaches. They've got Sean Freeney
Top
and
eight.
they've got Corey
Top eight, top
Dropkin.
four.
So what
Okay.
wonderful experiences that they bring to this team, to chat about
Looking
tendencies,
better now.
Yep.
even
Watch the line.
strategy right in the
Line's
middle
fine.
of the game, right, when they come out in the fourth end, reset,
Go a little.
etc. But
Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa.
it's a really great opportunity for all teams to be
Okay.
able to have a coach. And I don't think all teams here have a coach. And so I really enjoyed this experience to be able to offer, a little bit of different experiences to these
Try to make
ladies.
this.
They really
I
appreciated
don't wanna throw a lot at it, though, just
practices
control.
that we had together, conversations about strategy,
Just
conversations
control.
about tolerances and such. So just bringing that coaching experience to 5U can really, you can learn fast.
Having a coach is really, we brought a coach too, and we're so grateful.
Curl.
All right, so they're going for a hit and roll here. That gives them a benefit
off
of
that
peeling
corner.
this guard off. Unfortunately, they're a little wide.
Sit.
Peeled the corner.
Shit.
Oh, swear jar is in effect. We're donating to charity at least once today.
Control.
So that miss by Team Mellon gives Team Rose the opportunity to eliminate the only Yellowstone in play, which is really going to make
Wide.
it challenging
Really
for
wide.
Team Mellon to generate multiples with the remaining rocks that they have available to them.
Yeah, it definitely puts the pressure on. Ooh.
Whoa. Yeah.
Looks like that'll stick around in the back. I was worried it was going to jam on that red in the forefoot there, but it just missed it in the back.
Just control.
All right, Mellon again with the hit and roll. They can get under this guard and remove that rock. That's a great shot for them.
Although you see 3 red rocks,
Yep.
you know, around the house,
Yep.
it looks like Mellon has the advantage right
Yep.
now. If he can, like you said, hit and roll. Opportunity to score a couple points in this end.
Whoa. We're gonna go the other. Yep.
Oh, looks like they might be wrong. Oh,
Good.
just rolled the other way. That works just fine. Great plan B there.
You're right on line, but you're just giving a little bit
How
of a
much you
flip,
got?
which is setting it out.
All right, that's great feedback from the skip there. He's saying he hit the line, and he is releasing or letting go of the rock in the way that it's becoming a little bit wide, so it's behaving a little bit differently. That feedback from your skip can be really invaluable during the course of the game, even though it's not always fun to hear.
Control. Control up.
Yep, Tim.
Dig into it. Don't let it touch the center.
Keep going.
Dig. Harder. You got it.
Really nice sweep.
Really great. Really great encouragement from the other sweeper there, too. Great shot for them. All right, they're drawn behind that corner
Copy.
again, trying to get a second rock in the house for them.
Team Mellon's still trying to keep the center open, trying to draw a second rock in, try to generate their
Stay close.
their multiples.
Stay
If they can get it
close.
buried, then Christian will have to make a decision on whether or not he thinks he can remove a
Whoa.
yellow or if he has
Yep.
to take an aggressive,
Yep. Whoa,
more aggressive call
roll
drawn
it,
around
roll
his
it,
center
roll it,
guard.
roll it. Get it in. Get it
Oh,
in.
this
Get
might
it
be
in.
a
Fight.
great.
Oh, wow.
All right, Joe. Good.
All right, so that was a little bit of a dual benefit there for Team Mellon. He gets his rock seemingly in the house, and he also ticked the center guard.
I mean,
so
the other
there's-
option, well, it's pretty
really
buried.
opens
Let's just
it
draw
up.
in.
Yeah.
All right. I think he was my guess here is that he was going to recommend that they hit that yellow back there. Sounds like he came to the conclusion that is a little bit too buried. It would be too difficult to hit, so they're just going to go for the draw.
Touch in. That's okay, though.
It's a little up.
Sweepers indicating the rock's
It's
a
moving
little
now.
bit
Can we
heavy.
get Tim on it early?
No.
It's going to be by anyways.
Yeah, we're
Might as well
by.
try.
I think he's saying it's heavy, so they're going to try to sweep to take this yellow one in the back because they're not going to hurt anything even if they send it past. But you might as well give it a go.
So
I'm guessing he's going to hit and roll here. Oh, he's just going to nose it.
Control.
There's a lot of benefit in having a split house, which means you have rocks in very different parts of the house. The benefit there is that you've spread it out. So if the team, even if they hit your rock, you still have a lot of other rocks at different places, and you're making them very difficult to hit and remove multiple of your opponent's stones with one rock.
I don't think he can
Yep.
hit and roll to the side here because it would potentially jam on the back yellow. So just
Yeah.
looking to have a nose hit and sit through.
Hard. Hard to hold it. Sit.
It's not a
Good job.
bad outcome. I mean, it's better than a jam or sticking around too high. Definitely not what they wanted. I think they would have loved to split the house and have another counter. All right, we're going. Rose is going for that draw again.
All right, so Mellon is sitting 2, and Christian's choosing a freeze to come back on that and sit shot. So it's a really challenging shot to make this just right. But if
Alright,
he
so I
if he
draw,
makes
I'll
the
have that draw weight all night. All good morning, I guess, whatever this is.
All night long.
He's had that draw wait all night, or I guess decided it's the morning. He has. He's been on those draws.
I love that the sweepers are pumping that skip full of confidence just before that shot.
As your front end, you need to pump up your skip.
So if he can make this just right, it'll put quite a bit of pressure on Mellon, and he might get the force out of this end.
Pretty close.
Sweepers like the weight.
Tim, get ready, Tim.
Needs to curl a bit.
Does.
No, both.
Push.
Push. You only then.
It's got a curl here, but the weight looks nice. Little out wide. Great weight, though.
So
Yeah, if we
coming
can
up
get
light.
this, it's really good.
Mounts.
Gives Mellon the
Just like hack.
opportunity. It looks like he
Just
has
hack.
just enough room to get on the
And gets,
inside
like,
of it
there
and
with
sit
hack.
3.
All right, looks like they're going to hit and roll just with hack. You want a lightweight hit here. It gives you a lot more option for the
Should see a little
sweepers to
more from my
control
hack.
it. And a lot less of an opportunity that you're going to roll your shooter out.
Hack weight.
So you just called for hack weight here.
Not a ton, so both stay close. Once you get past that yellow, it's Derek. Hack weight.
Those directions from the skip to the front end can just
That's
really
lovely.
be invaluable.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Curl!
Needs to curl.
Looking pretty good, though.
Roll it, Joe! Roll it,
Oh,
roll it,
a
roll
little
it,
bit of
roll
a
it!
bummer there. There's still the shot rock. They did jam the shooter on their back yellow, knocked that to the back line and left that red around. Not a bad outcome. Definitely not the
You know,
one they
if I
wanted.
go here, I'm jamming. Don't want that at all. Yep.
So Rose is going to want to take this yellow one out, but there's rocks in the back to be
Gives them
on the lookout for,
Temporary
not to
double
jam. He doesn't want to jam that yellow on their own red rock in the back.
There's nothing like throwing a hit and just watching it knock out your own rock behind it.
yeah, it's pretty straight, so I think that's okay.
Doesn't feel great.
Well, I mean, ideally, right?
So just a little off
Right.
nose.
I think they're trying to do
No.
very similar to what Mellon just did.
Control.
So if he hits and sticks, essentially
Control.
sticks,
Yeah.
they'll be
We can
lying
try to roll under.
2
No,
after the
rolling
shot.
out because I don't want to risk jamming on our back.
You want to roll all the way out?
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
Just the other side.
Okay.
They want to roll, but they would like to keep that shooter around.
Just trying to push it to the left as well.
It's got to move. Fuck.
Well, we got some more for the swear jar.
So that just didn't
I think he was a little heavy from hack, if I had to guess.
that
And
just didn't come over with that weight.
hack weight is a great weight to hit at. And what it means is that if you throw the rock, it would stop at the hack on the other side. The difficulty with hack weight is if you are up weight, it is very difficult to get that rock where you need it to go. It
Yeah.
will just not
Spin it.
curl as much as you need. It's more of a finesse shot than it may look like on the surface.
So that miss is giving Matt an open draw for 4, I believe.
Yeah, definitely not the outcome they wanted.
Yeah. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it, boys.
They just need paint for 4. Little light.
Can't hurt it.
They're saying you can't hurt it. Sweep it. Make
Hard
sure
as you
we're in
can,
there,
Max.
even if we're a little heavy.
Hard as you can.
Oh, they might just be short here. Oh, they might have it. Oh, that was
Got
a
it there.
great sweep.
Drug it
That
to
was
top 12.
Excellent sweep from that team.
4 yellow.
Great end for Mellon there.
All right, so score update in the other game. Will Meyer had a blank attempt and didn't quite get the roll, so he was forced. So it'll be 4-2 Meyer up on Team Bliven, and Bliven's got hammer in the 6th.
All right. I think something that's important to talk about here is, and Alyssa, you can talk to this more than I can, is in skipping there is a lot of vulnerability. Like, I think a lot of people see a skip and they're like, oh, there is a lot of glory in it when you can make the shots, but there's also a lot of vulnerability. You're going to miss, and the shots you miss are just the most visible in their impact. The other people, your other teammates will miss, and they are not as visible to the outcome. The thing is, you're also going to have to call the game, and you're going to make calls that maybe aren't the best call. in retrospect. And so while I think skipping, when you make it, you get all the glory, but it's a very vulnerable position to put yourself in, and you have to be really on that to forget your misses, get up, move on, keep playing the game. It's not over.
Yeah, I think some folks in 5U may not recognize the contribution of the other players because I think of the game in terms of statistics. We
Yeah.
talked about
Play top
50%, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a 5U skip is probably going to make on a good
It's always
day,
Derek. It's always Derek.
70%, 70 to 80% of shots.
Looks here. You got
Of
plenty.
the easy shots. Certainly not going to make 70 to 80% of the challenging ones. And so it's really important for the other team
All right,
members
Jax. Good throw.
to put your skip in a position where they're making higher percentage shots, and you're going to get the outcome you're looking for a lot more often than those high pressure shots. But you're absolutely right, Anna. You got to be able to forget and shake it off and turn around and make another
line.
important shot.
Whoa.
All right, Mellon's up here,
Okay.
so they're just throwing
Sorry.
in.
It's a little hot.
They're happy for the other team to hit because they don't
Okay.
need points as much as the other team does.
I think Team Rose here was looking for a guard, a little
Yeah.
heavy. I think that actually might come through the house, so
The ice here in Chaska is quick. It is quicker ice than I play at home in Seattle. It can be hard to adjust to.
on that note, let's have some fun and time this rock, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
See what it's running.
Play for top 4.
All right, so they're
Line's
trying to
great.
get it in the top 4.
I think you can go. You can go. Can't hurt it.
So hog to hog,
16-6.
16. They got 16.
That is some
16-3.
Go, go, go.
Really,
go, go,
really
go, go, go.
fast ice here
That's
today.
some
Jax.
quick ice. Nice shot from them, though.
Normal. What am I throwing? Control?
Control.
All right, we got a control weight hit. They're trying to get that out of there.
Yep, Tim. Hard, Tim.
Oh, they got the
That
one
worked.
in the back. Not a bad outcome at all.
So I think Matt's trying to decide
Yeah.
how aggressive
Just
to be
tight.
here on this call. He's 2 up.
What would you do, Julie? Would you draw behind it? Or
He probably just wants to hold them to 1 in this case. I think I'd want to make sure I was in the house. Tap, freeze, come behind. Either one of those work in the house.
Okay, let's play for the tap then.
sounds like the front end
Looks
saying
like
it's a little
running.
heavy.
Dales.
So they're gonna try to
Dales,
tap.
Dales.
And
Whoa, Jax. Ah. You're fine. Keep going. You might
I'm
get
thinking
by.
Dales is Joe Daly.
Babywick. Just fine.
Great shot in the house, as Julie said. Oh, they're drawing
And
behind here.
We can hit. But I like this.
So Rose is trying to generate something. He needs to score a couple points in this end here. So even though those rocks are in the house, he's going to try to come around them.
There's always a temptation to hit, especially because it looks like you can get a double
Little
here.
out.
But if they get the double, they have their rocks sitting there alone.
Another option would have been
Watch the
to
line.
freeze to
Line
one of
is
them.
okay.
Oh, that's
Line.
true.
Slide.
And it
Whoa.
potentially
Whoa.
would be
We're fine,
more
we're fine.
difficult to get out, and you can use it later.
No.
They were just looking for a rock. The other team's going to struggle to remove.
Okay.
A little heavy, but it's behind that cover.
It's either that or the straight draw. Yeah, I mean, this is really good. I'm still fine with a blank. That's the only thing, like, I don't mind the nose hit. You're throwing that control weight really well. Just give me control.
Great read there from the skip. If one of your players is really on a shot, keep calling it for him.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Kind of in the middle. Yep, yep, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got to get something to chip here. All right.
All right, that one just didn't come up for them, so
I'm imagining they were trying to run one of their yellows straight back
Or we
into the
try and
red.
split these and sit.
got caught in the middle
Yeah,
there on that
I don't
one.
like those yellows there.
Front end.
Gotta be control.
All right, now they're
Can't go nose.
Front end wants to hit here. Doesn't like the yellow.
no. Now they're going to double them out. They have another rock
Control.
in the house. Having a single rock there doesn't make them a sitting duck.
Julie, would you ever consider freezing here?
I would. I think you have one in the house that's shot, generate
Anna.
some.
Anna.
My name's
momentum.
also Anna, and it throws me off every time.
Yep.
Get,
Go.
yep, get in there. Yep, push that on it.
That's fine.
Good shot there. Opens that up a little bit.
So that was a pretty good result.
It's
So
really good
Matt's,
outcome.
Matt's
Yeah.
got a decision here on how.
I'd rather sit 1-2.
Right, so he just wants to minimize the number of rocks that Team Rose has and
Just
potential to
control.
score. So we're going to just get rid of this red rock here.
He wants 1-2. They don't have hammer.
Yes! Hard! Still gotta go! Whoa! Yep! Yep!
Really nice
Good.
sweep there.
Excellent sweep. We've seen
job.
some really great sweeping from both these teams here today. Oh, hit and roll.
Double,
Roll
double.
under.
So if since
Let's come
Mellon's
this way. You
sitting
okay with
at
that?
1-2,
We can run.
I mean,
let's let him talk here for a bit.
what do you like? You can go either way.
I just don't like leaving the double. If you go this way, if they try to hit, it's going to run back.
So Team Rose is really trying to generate 2 here. So what Christian was thinking was to hide behind that other corner. Cameron's got a concern that might set up
Wide.
the double.
Wide.
Go to the back one then.
Yep.
It's gonna
Yep.
chip it.
Fine.
That's a fine shot. It rolls out completely. Doesn't leave him anything to do with the shooter.
Well, the problem with rolling out on that shot is that it's going to let Mellon remove the only red that's in play, and so it's really taking away the opportunity for Team Rose to score multiple here.
Nose is good.
Yeah, you're right on, Alyssa.
Team Rose has only got 3 rocks left, so they'll have to figure out how to either be okay with force or try to make a challenging freeze or something to make sure they can keep their red rocks in play.
Gotta push it, Jax.
with
You
no
really gotta
guards
push it.
left.
Looks like this is hanging a little bit for
Harder.
him. Turned out okay.
Oh, there it is. I'm intrigued. Now that the house is open, anything can happen here.
So it's setting up to be a blank at this point. It's a bit of an unlucky miss on the part of Team Mellon.
Rose would be happy with a blank here. It prevents them from being forced to just one and
Goodbye.
allows them to keep hammer into the next end. So if an end blanks and nobody
Okay.
scores,
Zone.
hammer stays with the hammer team. It does not switch.
The
Coming down now.
tricky part
Looking
is
Looking better. It's still
with us
there.
being in the 6th end, if Team Rose blanks this end, there's only 2
It's like,
ends left. They'd be
back-
down by
back
2
forward.
with hammer in the 7th.
It does put them with hammer in the odd ends, which you don't necessarily want. You want to play the last end with hammer. Ideally, you want to play the last end up so much it doesn't matter. But
Don't we all?
I'm just realizing I think Team Mellon here has the whole suite of the metallic hardline brooms. I think they have the whole collection.
Normal. Yep. That deep in the house, you just want to make sure it holds the line.
So Rose hung on in the back there. Matt talked about it being back there, so the rock really does have to go further. They got to hold the line, and they would ideally like to stick here.
Whoa,
That's an
whoa,
important thing.
curl.
If you're hitting higher up or deeper in the house, the rock has more time to curl or not to
Curl.
curl. And you have to take that into account. Oh, nice shot there. I think it's just biting.
Looks like it's stuck around, biting the 12.
Draw down to it.
So if Christian chooses to hit and stick, then it'll really set up the blank. But given that the rock is all the way over on the edge, if he can make a good freeze here and make it difficult for Matt to remove it, he might actually end up with his deuce.
Freeze down to it.
Yep. Draw down to it.
Yeah, you got this.
So we don't want to be high. We
Right.
want to get down to him.
Skips first rock here. Still looking to see if he can generate 2. Even being on that side of the house, opportunity for a jam. So perfect freeze is what he's looking
I like
for,
the
but
weight.
right in
narrow.
front of the
I
yellow.
go line. I go line.
Weight's all there. It's a little up. It's a little up.
Line.
Don't want to run out of house here.
Nope.
All right.
Fine outcome there from Rose. All right, I'm imagining Mellon's going to go.
Yeah, with that rock being just a touch heavy and clearing the yellow,
Dead nose is
gives
good. Don't want to give him
Matt
a
the
free
opportunity
blank,
to remove it.
but make sure we kill it.
Just make sure
A
we
little
kill
wider,
it.
so stay close. I'll try to throw up a hair. Is that last one good normal? Okay.
So Matt's looking to stick, so that way it makes Christian make a shot. He mentioned not giving him the free blank. If he rolls out, then it would give Christian the opportunity to not have to make a tough shot.
You never want to give the team anything, the other team anything for free. You always want to make them work for it.
But he also clarified that the primary goal was to make sure we remove the rock.
Got to kill it. It looks like they did. They did roll out there. It was hard on that edge. I'm imagining Rose is going to throw his rock through.
Huh? Yeah. I think he's drawn for 1 anyway.
Oh,
He's drawn for 1.
looks like he's drawn for 1. They're trying to keep hammering that even ends.
Yep.
I think that's a
Just me.
reasonable strategy here.
Team
You
Rose
can give it
does
to
have
us too.
2 hammers to
work with
Mellon's
it.
1 if they choose to score on this end.
So they're down by 2. Ideally, you want to get 2. On the ends, you have hammer.
So if they get 1 here, they force Mellon to 1 in the next end. 5 to 7.
Go, go, go. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it, guys.
It's there.
Looks like it's there.
It's there.
Nice shot there. All right, looks like we're going to the 7th end here. 5 to 6, Mellon.
All right, score update for the other semifinal. Team Bliven was forced in the 6th end. So we've got Will Meyer up 4 to 3 with hammer in the 7th.
We've got some really close games here. 6 to 5 over on the game we're talking about. The other semifinal 3 to 4. It's been some really exciting curling. I'm excited to go back and actually watch this other game when I have some free time later. I don't know what the call here was. I'm imagining they want to steal, so it's a
Careful,
guard.
not in at all.
Yep, there we go.
Get to the line, Tim. Tim, push, push, push.
They really want that center line because then that other team cannot tick it.
Wow.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Looks like they're going to get it.
There you go.
Excellent
Sweet.
center card
Nice
there.
throw.
Really nice. All right, Mellon, I think, is throwing a corner, but in.
Tee's really good. Split the tee. Dale's in. Go. You really got to go. Just straight, as far as you can get it. As far as you can get it. Get a biter. Get a biter. Get a biter.
Those are the worst because as it curls, it actually gets farther away from the house. So as a sweeper, you're like, think you're going to make it, and then you watch the house get farther away. All right, I'm assuming Rose is just
Heavier,
drawing
and
behind
come
that
in here.
nice center they put.
We got room, room, room.
So what
Gotta
he's saying,
push.
he's just got room to push it. So it's not too
Push,
heavy
push, push.
that they can't push it to curl behind that guard.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. That's
Weight was nice. Still peeking out a little bit there.
Control.
Hit and roll. Julian, that last 10, would you have blanked it or would you have gone for the one?
Great question, Anna. My tendency is to blank. I'd like to get
Green.
more than
Yep.
one when we have hammer.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Some
Green.
people really want to make sure in the even ends
Yep.
they've got the hammer, so I think that's probably what Rose
Yep.
was looking to do. I
Really
think I
good,
would have
Jax.
probably blanked. Try to get 2 and 7. If they got 2 and 7, they're tied. But really go for 3 and 7. So, toss up.
So,
Yeah.
So what do you think here, Julie? Do you think Team Rose should go for the steal, or do you think they should go for the force to have hammer in the 8th?
Yeah.
Would you prefer to be, let's see here, down 2 with hammer or tied without?
Pretty good.
Good line.
Or no,
Right line.
actually, what
Watch the line.
do I have that right?
Line.
I think so,
Yeah,
but you'd have to say it again.
How's the line?
Line.
So let's see. If Mellon is forced to 1, the score will be
Keep going, keep going,
7-5.
keep going, keep
Yes.
going.
And Rose will have hammer
Right.
and need to get at least 2 in the last end to tie.
Yes.
If Rose goes for the steal here and we're 6-6, Mellon has last rock in the last end with a tie.
Not a bad spot to be.
Bill.
Right. So I think that's the advantage.
All right, Mellon's peeling here. They do not want Rose to steal. They're getting that stuff out of the way.
Yep.
Both teams are playing very
Yep.
well. Excellent. It's difficult to
Yep.
steal with these teams playing
It
so
is.
well.
There's some really
throw,
great
Jax.
curling. And just from a spectator
Really good.
standpoint, it's been really enjoyable to watch.
So I guess it really comes down to whether or not you think you can score 3 with hammer or steal.
Right.
Which one do you feel more confident in
Right.
doing?
Yeah, I don't think there was a right choice to be made. I think it depends on what you're feeling. It was a hard decision. But a lot of times in curling, you have to pick one and you have to commit the whole way through.
So I'm assuming Rose was then hoping and planning for hammer in the last end and try to take their 2 to tie or 3 to win.
I'm sure they'd love to steal here, but if they can't, hammer in that even end.
Yeah, but I think the problem with planning to take 2 in the last end is that you would just tie and you would be in the exact same position in the extra
Have
end,
to
right?
steal in
Yeah.
the extra
So
end.
it doesn't really change the scenario unless you can score 3.
No.
Yeah.
But they've done it before, so. Who knows? All right. Mellon's just going to keep a clean house here. He's fine to take one.
The door.
Hard to stick it. Good.
Nice shot there. They really just wanted that to stay around in the house. I don't think the location mattered too much for them. All right. We see a lot of the freeze playing here from Christian Rose's team. Going to try to sit right on it with that corner freeze.
Pretty straight.
Cut that scoring area down.
Anna's got her draw weight, so not a bad call for
She does. This team has
this
some.
point of the end.
Little narrow.
The whole team has had some really great draws.
How's the weight?
It's a little up. It's a little up. It's bumping.
All right.
Off,
What he's
off.
trying to say there is if
No.
they hit it, they're going to tap it back.
I think her weight's a little up, so
Whoa.
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 they need to get this line right to bump it straight back.
Okay.
Not a bad outcome there. Not exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, it over curled just a bit, so I think
Give
the
me this
nose
way.
tap would have been maybe a bit better, but it's
Control.
going to give Team Mellon an opportunity to remove the red and sit two.
Yeah, the bummer for this is they just have something to hit and stay around.
It's really difficult to force your team when the call is a freeze versus a come around, so it's just a tough shot.
A freeze is a really hard shot. It doesn't look that hard. It is a very hard shot to throw perfectly. But if you can do it, it's a very powerful shot.
Queen. Whoa. Jax. Hard to stick, Jax. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So Mellon's saying there, you got to sweep hard
As long as it stays in, roll
so
it.
that it doesn't hit the edge.
As far as you can.
You need to hit a little bit more of the rock so that it won't roll out. They wanted like sweep hard so that shooter will stick,
do it.
and he did.
So
All
we're
right.
calling the freeze again.
Christian is going really hard for the steal here. Because if they don't make this freeze just perfectly, then Team Mellon will have an
Better.
opportunity to
Little
potentially
wide.
hit and stick and sit
Better.
threes. So
Whoa.
it's really
Whoa.
critical that Anna get this rock right in a really good freeze position.
Back 4. Back 8.
A little
Gotta
heavy.
come. Gotta come.
It's got a curl.
Gotta come.
Let's buy it.
Okay.
Just through.
I don't want to go there. They freeze under. Like, here is. The only, like, here is probably perfect, yeah?
So Matt has a good problem to have right now, trying to figure out where to put the
You're
rock
looking at, like, top 8
for a
weight, boys.
3 in the house to ensure that Rose doesn't have an opportunity to either draw around it or freeze to it. But he's in a good position right
Okay.
now.
Oh yeah, I'd be pretty happy if I was on that team.
No, we need it to sit. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're like back 4.
I think it'll stick around.
All right, Joe. Just fine.
That works.
That does work. It's in the house.
So we're going to try this freeze again. Looks like the same ice.
Yep.
Oh, there's a really nice sweep over on the other game here. So I think we heard some of that enthusiasm.
All right, you got this. Yep.
I love a front end that pumps their skip up. If you don't believe in the shot, you're not going to be able to make it. I also say you got this a lot. I didn't realize it till a friend got me a bracelet that says it. It's a good phrase. Yeah.
I like the weight.
Sweepers like the weight.
Feels good as a sweeper when
Me.
the weight's exactly what you're hoping for.
Needs to curl.
I think it's looking pretty good. That's running straight over here, though.
Both. Whoa, whoa.
Looking very close.
Looking pretty good.
Really close here.
Little sweep to get it there.
Oh, that is an
Oh, wow.
excellent shot.
Really nice shot.
That's really nice. I don't think they're perfectly frozen. Looks like we have a little bit of space. Oh, wow. Ask and you
both,
shall
that's fine.
receive.
So in this case, what's interesting is the rock that's actually hurting Matt Mellon right now is his own, the one that's sitting behind the red. So
Heel.
he'll certainly try to pluck the
Yeah,
red off the
over the
top,
top.
but if he loses the back yellow, I don't think he'll be upset about it.
No, I think he's willing to sacrifice that.
Little
Great
less
shot
go.
there from Rose.
Should run pretty straight here. Yep. Well, yep. Yep. Sit. Shoot.
Yeah, not the ideal outcome they were looking for. That's why that shot
Either
from Rose
free
was
throw
great.
again.
No,
I think
I
that's
put him
I
in a
think you gotta put
position to
draw.
I
jam.
think would be here.
Hey, I think
All timeout.
this is probably.
Oh, we got a timeout here. Excited to see this conversation.
I think you got to.
So their coach is Matt Fernie? Franey.
Right? You don't wanna
Sean
leave it double.
Franey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sean Franey.
Yeah, and it's game over.
Sucks.
No,
Probably better peeling the other way once I got down here. I should have went back down and looked. Plenty of time.
Right.
because one we're down two. It doesn't matter. He just goes this for a clean one, right? He doesn't need it. I mean, he's playing
I
conservative.
mean, do we guard that and make sure we outcount that, or do we?
So if you're never coming to it.
Yeah.
The best thing you're doing is just full weight in the top of the house, which is fine.
Yeah.
If you come to this one, he's trying to nose instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is literally the same line he just threw, but he didn't do what he wanted to on it. I don't think either's bad. Whatever you're more comfortable with. Your margin coming this way is a little bit better because you can be back to it, or you can be top eight in front of it, and that's fine, right?
Yeah.
If you get once you get into the 4 foot, you lose in the double. It's game over.
Game over, yeah.
It makes it right. So I think if I'm you, I'm probably trying to draw something over to this side,
Okay.
making sure it's at least full eight.
Okay.
Are you leading him to open stick for one?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
You want me full eight back here, or just
No.
Well, that's best. But back here is also fine. If it's gonna come back, make sure we curl it.
You're talking out turn though over to here.
So I think you're going probably like outside of the floor.
Outside. It's not moving much. It's not moving much.
You want to go more?
No.
Okay, I'd go there.
Okay.
Because Christian,
Yeah.
you can be like in line with the edge of floor here, and
Yeah.
that's really good.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So they discussed a few options here. The goal would be to be sitting second
Yeah.
shot primary. So Sean discussed with them, you could put it top 8 foot right in front of your other rock. You don't want to be too close, he suggested, and leave an easy double. I mean, no double's easy, but leave a double. Or actually do an outturn freeze down to the yellow and also sit second shot. Anywhere in between, he's
All right,
saying
man, you
is a
got
good
this.
shot too,
Top
right?
8,
So the
yeah.
weight's really
You got
important to be top 8. You need to be second shot. But either way, he's going to give Matt Mellon a difficult shot to either have to take 2 out or stick for the 1.
I think Sean brought up another good point, though, is that he was basically saying the tolerance for this shot is greater.
the way-
In other words, you could land in the
Maybe a
top
little
8
up.
and you could land in the back 8, and both of those shots are okay. So this is a shot that has a little bit higher probability of success because your margin for error is a bit greater
Right.
than trying to make such a very precise
This is
draw.
looking really good.
It looks really nice
Looks
here.
like it might, as long as it stays
You don't
full
wanna
8, doesn't over curl too
I
much.
think it'll just tick that yellow.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Almost needed to sweep.
Is
Well,
it free?
we did need to sweep that a little bit to keep it
there with
second
control.
shot.
Yeah.
So they do cut down the other 2, but it looks like Matt's got an open hit for 2.
I think they were saying it was for 3.
I'll sit for 2.
Oh, just 2. Okay.
Just control.
Julie, would you have called that too?
That's a great shot. Yep.
I like it.
I think it's just a little miss on
Just-
that communication and that rock management, like Julie mentioned. If the front end maybe had communicated that it was just a touch heavy, Anna might have called him to sweep it and just come down on top of that yellow and still stay second shot.
It brings down to the importance of a front end who can call weight well, but it's not easy to do.
Primary goal of that shot was to be second shot. Yeah.
Right to it. All right, clean. Clean, clean, clean. You're good.
So 2 yellow for Mellon.
2 yellow puts Rose having to steal, having to take 3 for a tie to go to an extra 4 to win. I think they're looking at that third one here.
They've cleared the rocks, so
I guess we'll see.
what it is. We think it's 2.
I agree. It is 2. All right, Rose has some ground to make up here. However, it is not an impossible mountain to climb.
So in the other semifinal game, we've got Will Meyer with hammer in the 7th. And he has a draw to the 8-foot for 2, so he's about to throw his last rock.
All right, I'm guessing Mellon is going to have them throw that first rock in. But before we get there, we just want to give another shout out to their to our sponsors. USA Curling is grateful to the generous donors who help make this 500 Nationals coverage possible. Thank you to Andy Miller, Ken Pomeroy, Matt Apesos, Tessa Brockie, David Hurst, and Raman Gilbert. We're so grateful to you that we can have this
Pistol
streaming
jacks.
here. I think we all would have been bummed out
All right.
to not be able to watch these games. All right, Mellon's going the strategy. They're throwing
Gotta
through.
be a guard.
They're not going to give the team anything to sit on or anything to hide behind. Just go through. Rose needs to steal, so they need guards. Nothing like being a lead and knowing your rock has to be a guard. If it is in, the
Go
other
wide.
team can hit it.
Whoa.
It makes it far more difficult for them to steal.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So in the other
Whoa.
Oh,
semifinal,
Tim. Oh.
Will threw his rock a bit heavy,
fine.
so
Whoa,
ended up with
Tim.
1 in the 7th, and so Team Bliven will have hammer in the 8th, down by 2. Score of 5-3 in that game.
We got some exciting games going here.
Okay.
Nice guard
shot.
there. There's nothing like throwing a guard knowing it has to be a guard. They're going. Mellon's just throwing through again. They don't want anything for them to hide behind, and they can't hit those guards yet.
Another one.
Rose is asking
Yep.
for a double
No,
guard.
up here is fine.
We talked about this earlier. The benefit of a double guard is if you can get a rock behind it, the other team has to peel 2 rocks to get yours out. It also gives you the opportunity to keep putting up the one they take away.
Not too close.
Line only.
Whoa. You can push it. Push it a little bit. Push, 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 push.
Wants it to curl a little bit, asking Anna to carve it.
Really nice pair there. Really lovely.
Give me your Indy.
Great spot. Third rock through the house.
They can't touch those guards yet, so they're throwing through.
No. He's just throwing
So
one
this
next.
will be the 5th rock. So presumably after this rock is thrown, then Team Mellon will start to take out the rocks from Team Rose.
You ever like another?
Oh, I
I think right now we go
he's
here.
saying for a third guard.
Watch the release here, Tim.
Some nice feedback from the skip there.
The other option
line.
is a corner guard on
way.
the other side. They're
Cam
choosing
line.
to go behind now, so they will look to have 3 on this side at some point,
Wait till
or at
play.
least 2.
Yep. Still
Carry
line.
2 in.
Still line, Cam.
Me only.
Line, line, line.
Oh, this is going to be close.
Line, 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 line.
Oh, look at that.
Got
Nice.
by a
Nice
sliver.
shot there. Peaks. They're going to, Mellon's going to just get those guards out of the way. They don't want him to hide behind anything.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Green. Good, D. Nice throw.
Always good to hear that clean from your skip when you've thrown a takeout. Means it's right spot on.
Clean just means don't put any weight down on your broom, but make
get
sure
it
there's
close, you gotta
no
wanna be deep.
junk in the way for it to hit. Feels good as the thrower, too. It means you threw a good rock.
Good line.
It's a little more.
Looking to bury another one behind.
I think Christian
How heavy?
actually called for another guard,
He did. Okay.
but it looks like it's a bit heavy, so they'll
I
bring it
know.
around into the house.
Not a bad outcome.
No, 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 no,
No,
no,
it's
no,
gonna be
no.
right
no.
here. For your broom.
Okay.
Okay, the tricky part about these rocks being so close is
I think you can get them both out.
Might get them all.
There you go. That's it.
Firm.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're lined up. They're lined up nicely for Mellon to potentially have a triple here.
They are. The more space you have between rocks, the harder they are to run because they have to go a longer distance. So the angle you hit them at becomes even more important.
Julia, would you have
Yep.
called for another guard, or you would have split the house at that point? You need 3, so
You
I
need-
understand
Even
that.
for
Certainly
the other-
understand the guard call.
You need 3. I think I think y'all almost wanted to split the house
right.
with the guards to get the 3.
Yeah, I had that same thought because you can't stack 3 up in that line there.
Going in the house on the other side. I
One
think
more.
you're looking at 2.
Yeah.
All right, so Christian's got 4
Not too
rocks
deep.
left.
He's
He's calling for one more guard, which means he'll be left with 3 rocks to score 3. They've already got one in the house, so there's 1 rock margin of error there.
They're still
Looks
in
good.
it.
Pretty soft release. No. No.
Yeah, just I don't want to touch it.
We don't want to go any deeper.
It's fine. It's a good shot.
Nice shot from Anna there.
Just a single.
Saying just peel the one.
Green. Whoa. Curl. Curl. Good, Joe.
Very clean peel there.
great shot. Took care of the guard.
All right, they're throwing another one in.
So he feels it's time to come in.
Get that second point.
Got to have all these count. That guard's pretty close to the house. Potentially
is.
could be split on a last
They're
rock.
wide.
That's true.
Hair more.
Whoa.
It's gonna be a guard.
A little bit light.
We don't want to double. We don't want to double him.
What they're saying is they don't want to put it into plays that the other team can
No.
get an easy double. Again, no double's easy, but some of them are easier than others.
Matt's looking at how he
I think
can
so.
clear as many as possible.
I think that's the call. The only bad thing that could happen, right, is jamming, it rolls in, and then I basically need a double on my last, right? I think it's still the call. We make it. I also know we won't be using a timeout on our last, so we might as well just ask Cora to be sure. Yeah, just to be sure.
All right, they're calling for a timeout here.
Julie, would you ever just peel the other red in front of the rock in the house?
Yeah, I think the one that's causing them trouble right
The
now
only other
is
one I'm
that
seeing,
guard on the
Joe,
left.
is try this, and if I single
And there's a
peel, it's fine because that
potential
one's open.
double there too.
I think that's probably
you're
the best
tight.
call.
So I think I would peel that one on the outside.
I think the best call is this.
Let's see what Corey
I
thinks.
try this run. If I straight peel, if I make the double, no, it's too long. So just make sure I peel at worst. He draws around. I have the open hit. Peel this. Have the open hit on the last. And you hit it a little thick. So just peel this side. Okay.
Always nice when the coach agrees with us.
That's the call. I peel the side. He's
Yeah,
drawing
I think
under,
I
have the
might
open hit.
refer to the other double peel. It's getting cute.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it.
Give me here with peel.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. No reason to be greedy.
This is the higher probability shot.
Yeah, we just need to clear it out.
Team Melon's really just trying to run Team Rose out of rocks. So Team Rose has got 3 total rocks in play with 2 left, so there's only 5 rocks to deal with. So, and as they mentioned, I believe they think that the center guard from Team Rose is too far away from the house to split, so that one's not really going to come into play.
Yep. You're good. Just clean.
Really nice.
Good textbook peel there.
Great peel.
Puts Rose in a sticky spot.
So Rose has 2 rocks left. Needs to get 3 to tie. We need all 3 of these rocks to count.
So he's coming around that other one. I think the worry there is if they're hoping Mellon misses the hit on the other one.
Yeah, would you ever try to Christmas tree him, Julie? How would you not give Melon an open hit here?
Yeah.
What option is there?
Well, and that's why they really wanted to clear that one, because that was the guard that was giving them trouble. So the Christmas tree is a great idea.
Hey,
Half
I have
buried.
a question for you. Did you ever run that red up a little bit, and then you bite, and you still have a guard in play, 2, and you have a 3rd shot?
Oh,
Front end's trying to get that guard a little closer.
Right? But if you tap it up, you're leaving this stone in play, and you're leaving an opportunity still for even if he hits it, for a tap in.
Right, but if I tap it without getting either in, there's pretty good distance there.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's up to you and whatever.
I think we got to just hope for a miss at this point. Yeah.
They got plenty of time left on their time clock, so good discussion there.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, though, that Christian said
Whoa.
he's hoping for a miss, because even a miss,
Whoa.
a hit and roll out would be
Whoa.
okay for Melon.
Right.
and I don't think we've seen Mellon really flash a hit today.
Exactly, so that seems like a really
Whoa.
big hope at this point.
Back 4. It's got to really grab. It's got to really grab.
Oh, it hung on there.
So
Oh, that got
12.
my.
We got 2 in the
Just
house.
normal.
That was a nail biter. Yeah, Mellon's just gonna hit. He doesn't care where his shooter goes.
Well, it's actually not a bad result, because if Melon ever is just a hair wide on this one, then he might actually
Normal dead nose.
jam it.
and
But I
even
still
if
think
he
he
splits,
always
split.
removes a rock, so maybe it's not
Still
any
safe.
different. He's
Yeah.
taking quite tight ice, so I don't think he's interested
Stay close, Steve.
in that particular way to miss it.
So Rose really needs Mellon to either flash or roll out, because they're going to need to try to split that guard in for 3 if Matt rolls out of the house here. Hit and stick is perfect. What he's looking for.
Just clean.
And they've got it. Nice shot there. That was an excellent game to watch. Great curling from both teams.
Okay, so Matt Mellon heading into the final today at 1 o'clock.
This will be exciting. Do we have an update on the other semifinal game?
That was Will Meyer's first. And so we've still got 3 rocks to go in the other semifinal.
All right, so we know it's Mellon to be determined who they're going to face off in the gold medal game. Really great game from Christian Rose's team here. Oh, looks like we're going to get the other stream to watch. Oh, yes. Okay. There is another stream up under the USA Curling YouTube. It is just the other video slotted at this time if you would like to see the rest of that game. Thank you for joining us here today. I really enjoyed getting to watch this game. I'm Anna Jensen.
Alyssa Parks.
Julie Segovia.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. And tune in later today for the bronze and gold medal games.